This week at the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court on Tuesday, February 25, 2025, resumed the oral arguments on the petitions regarding the transfer of the Philippine Health Insurance or PhilHealth's excess funds to the National Treasury. Associate Justices Alfredo Benjamin S. Caguiwa and Amy C. Lazaro Javier led the interpellations. The oral arguments will resume on March 4, 2025 at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. In its en banc session on the same day, the court required respondents' House of Representatives, its Secretary General Reginald S. Velasco, and the Senate to comment on the petition for certiorari and prohibition with a prayer for a temporary restraining order filed by Vice President Sara Z. Duterte, seeking to nullify the fourth impeachment complaint against her. She claims that the impeachment complaint violated Article 11, Section 3, Paragraph 5 of the Constitution, which states that no impeachment proceedings shall be initiated against the same official more than once within a period of 1 year. The SC also ordered former senatorial candidate Francis Leo Antonio Marcos to show cause within 72 hours from notice why he should not be cited in contempt for his actions, which tend to bring the SC's processes into dispute or disrespect. The court had previously issued on January 21, 2025, a TRO preventing the Commission on Elections from declaring Marcos a nuisance candidate in the 2025 elections. In another case, the court has ordered respondents, House of Representatives et al., to comment within 15 days on the petition for certiorari and prohibition with urgent prayer for the issuance of a TRO and writ of preliminary injunction filed by Ernesto S. Abinos Jr. et al. Against the House probe on posts on social media platforms. Meanwhile, the SC has denied Caloocan City's petition challenging the constitutionality of the Malabon City Charter, citing the failure to follow the proper procedure for resolving boundary disputes under the Local Government Code or LGC. In a decision written by Associate Justice Antonio Tico Jr., the SC Second Division directed the cities of Caloocan and Malabon to settle their territorial boundary dispute before their sanggunians in accordance with the LGC. The same portions of land are being claimed by Caloocan and Malabon, both highly urbanized cities, as part of their respected territorial boundaries. The boundary dispute should have first been referred to the concerned sanggunians for settlement, as provided for by Section 118 of the LGC. In another decision, the court has nullified the foreclosure by the Metropolitan Bank and Trust Company or Metrobank of a mortgaged property after finding that the bank failed to properly account for the borrower's loan payments. In a decision written by Associate Justice Mario V. Lopez, the SC Second Division ruled in favor of Carmelita Cruz and Vilma Lote, who had taken out several loans from Metrobank using real property in Pasig City as collateral. The borrowers argued that while they had paid a total of 32.6 million pesos for their loans, Metrobank only recorded 20.5 million pesos, leaving 12.14 million pesos unaccounted for. The SC annulled the foreclosure sale. It clarified that ordinarily, a lender's failure to provide an accounting of loan payments is not a ground for annulling a foreclosure. But in this case, the SC had already issued a final and executory ruling requiring Metrobank to provide a complete and accurate accounting of the borrower's payments. Until this is resolved, the court said the foreclosure cannot proceed, as doing so would contradict its prior ruling. The Supreme Court has also ruled that a person does not need a documented history of mental illness to claim legal insanity as a defense. In a ponencia by Associate Justice Alfredo Benjamin S. Caguiwa, the SC's Third Division acquitted an accused due to insanity and ordered her confinement at the National Center for Mental Health for treatment. The accused was charged with homicide after her father found her in a disturbing scene over her best friend's lifeless body. She claimed she attacked her best friend after she saw her grow horns and transform into a demon. She also reported hearing the Virgin Mary's voice instructing her to place a cross into the victim's heart. The SC clarified that while prior medical records can be relevant, they are not required to prove that the accused's medical condition led to the crime. Thus, the absence of documented psychiatric history should not be taken against the accused, claiming legal insanity. In another decision, the SC has held that time spent at work under a broken period scheme is covered by overtime pay. In a decision written by Associate Justice Henry John Paul B. Inting, the SC's 3rd Division directed C. Bren Security Agency to pay security guards Lorenzo D. Cambila Jr. and Albahar S. Samad overtime pay for the 4-hour breaks they spent at work. C. Bren hired Cambila and Samad as security guards, assigning them to Ecoland 4,000 residences. Under C. Bren's duty detail order, they reported to work for 12 continuous hours under a broken period scheme, which required them to complete a 4-hour shift, take a 4-hour break, and then complete another 4-hour shift, all within the same day. Under the Labor Code, an employee shall receive overtime pay for work performed beyond the standard 8-hour workday. The SC emphasized that the 4-hour intervals between shifts are considered work hours due to the inability of employees to use the period for their own benefit. On February 26, the court held a preliminary conference on the petition filed by Aquilino Pimentel III et al. Challenging the validity of the Republic Act No. 11954 or the Maharlika Investment Fund Act of 2023. The oral arguments on the case is scheduled on April 22, 2025, Tuesday, 2 o'clock in the afternoon at the SC Session Hall in Baguio City. The Office of the 2025 Shari'ah Special Bar Examinations, or SSBE Chairperson, Associate Justice Antonio Tico Jr., has announced the extension of the application period for the 2025 SSBE from the original deadline of February 28, 2025 to March 9, 2025 at 3 in the afternoon. The office also issued a notice to applicants regarding the uploading and submission of deferred documents for the 2025 SSBE. Deadline for deferred documents is on May 9, 2025. On February 27, the court, led by Associate Justices Samuel H. Garlan and officials of the Office of the Court Administrator or OCA, held a dialogue on eFiling in eCourt System version 2.0 or eCourt PH 2.0 for Region 4A in Santa Rosa, Laguna. Justice Garlan delivered the keynote message and the briefing on eCourt, while personnel of the SC Management Information Systems Office and the OCA conducted the briefing on eFiling. The dialogue with judges and court personnel of Region 4A followed. Finally, on Friday, Chief Justice Alexander G. Gesmundo was paid a courtesy visit by the Asia Foundation and representatives from Swedish International Development Cooperation Agency at the Supreme Court in Manila.